They're trying to throw Jody in jail for failing to pay child support. Child support? Hi, my name is Rochelle, and I'm an attorney. Even though I'm an attorney, I'm not your attorney. This video is purely for entertainment purposes, and this video is not legal advice. Today we're going to be talking about Tyrese Gibson, aka Jody from Baby Boy, and his ongoing legal battle with his now ex-wife Samantha, and related to their minor child. On Sunday, September 8th, actor Tyrese Gibson posted on social media indicating that he believed that he may be sent to jail in connection with his ongoing family law case involving his ex-wife Samantha and their minor child. The reason that Tyrese believed that he may be going to jail was not clear from the social media post. Now, a deep dive into Tyrese's past social media history as it relates specifically to this ongoing divorce and child custody battle, it reveals that Tyrese has been going through this for quite some time. Back in February of 2023, a judge issued a final divorce decree divorcing Tyrese and his ex-wife Samantha, but also ordering that Tyrese pay approximately $10,690 in monthly child support for their minor child. Now, Tyrese at that time and has continued to maintain that he does not believe that the law justifies him paying such a high amount in monthly child support, and he believes that the judge's determination that this was an appropriate amount to charge him for child support was based in part on the amount of child support he pays for another child who lives in the state of California.
And guess who's been unemployed for 15 years? Baby mama number one. Why would you go get a job? Why would you get a job? What job is going to pay you $10,600 a month? So they pimping the system, man. They playing the game. And the family law and the court system is letting them do it. What reason does anybody have to go and get a job, hustle their way into becoming an entrepreneur, doing whatever it takes to be a better example in front of the child or the children? By being a working mom?
And so Tyrese's dissatisfaction with the judge's ruling, and the proceedings related to his divorce have been well documented and are still being litigated. In fact, this morning Tyrese posted to his Instagram a link to a Google document, which is a copy of the appeal that was filed on his behalf by his attorney regarding a host of issues that were decided as it relates to his divorce and child support. And so, based upon Tyrese's ongoing concern that the judge has not issued good rulings in the case and has not followed the laws as it relates to how it has been applied to him, it has made this very difficult battle kind of ongoing. And so a review of the docket of this case reveals that since the final divorce decree was issued back in February of 2023, Tyrese's ex-wife Samantha has filed 3 motions with the court. And the motions have been to hold Tyrese in contempt of court for failure to pay child support. And so the hearing that was held on September 9th was a hearing on her 3rd motion for contempt of court, based upon Tyrese's alleged failure to pay child support. And so after the hearing, the judge ultimately decided to issue an order, and it was an arrest order. And the order stated that Tyrese was to be taken into custody until he purges himself of the contempt of court by either making a payment of approximately $73,525.73, or until the court issues some further order in this case. Luckily, the Fulton County Police Police Information Office has released information indicating that Tyrese was in fact temporarily detained in connection with the September 9th hearing, but he has since been released and is no longer in custody. So it's great news that Tyrese is no longer in custody as a result, of this hearing, but we really got to take a deep dive into what does it mean for him to be held in willful contempt, and what are the remedies that a person in Georgia can employ when they're dealing with a person who's not paying child support. And, when will the court go to an extreme remedy of putting a person in jail for failure to pay child support? So first we're going to understand contempt. So a willful contempt of court, it's a legal phrase. And so contempt of court occurs when a person is ordered by the court to either do some action or not do some action, right? And so in this specific instance, Tyrese was ordered to pay monthly child support in the amount of $10,690 as a result of his final divorce decree. Now, Tyrese's ex-wife Samantha maintains that he has failed to pay the entire $10,690 amount each month since the order was issued against him. Tyrese has been held in contempt of court for his failure to obey the court's order for him to pay that $10,690 amount monthly. Now, based upon Tyrese's position that he does not believe that he is obligated to pay that amount because the judge's order for him to pay that amount was not based upon sound legal reasoning, it may be the reason why he has not paid this amount in its entirety.
We also were hoping to accomplish shedding light on Samantha Gibson making well over $100,000 a year outside of what I make per year, and the necessary needs of the actual child are beyond met.
All right, I understand. And you're aware that if you pay these amounts and then the Court of Appeals reverses it, you don't get your money back.
I am well aware of it.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Do you want the court to consider you paying it into a bond so that in the event, whatever the court rules, no one is prejudiced?
I would want to know more about what this means as far as a bond, but if I could position myself to show any intentionality to do that, if that's the final outcome, then I'll take care of it. But doing something that is beyond the scope of the law, it feels like punishment. It feels like it's just unnecessary. And if the roles were reversed, I just really feel like I wouldn't be sitting here.
And so now, after three hearings where Tyrese's ex-wife is seeking for the court to hold him in contempt of court, after this third motion, which was granted, the court decides to impose this very extreme remedy of sentencing him to holding him in contempt of court, detaining him, and issuing a order for his arrest if he fails to make this $73,000 plus child support payment. So in Georgia, if a person has an order that they can receive a certain monthly amount in child support, there are a host of remedies that they can seek in order to be paid the amounts that they are owed in relation to the child support order. They can get a withholding of child support from the other party's paychecks, their unemployment benefits, or their weekly workers' compensation benefits. They can seek an offset on the person's federal or state income tax refunds. They can report the other parent's delinquent child support payments to the 3 credit reporting bureaus. The other party can have there are different types of licenses, either suspended or revoked, including a driver's license, a professional license, an occupational license, a recreational license, a hunting or fishing license, for their failure to pay support as ordered. A party can also intercept lottery winnings that exceed $2,500. They can file a contempt action in Superior Court, which may result in a jail sentence if the other party is found to be in contempt of court. That's exactly what we have in this case with Tyrese and his ex-wife Samantha. The party can also file a lien to seize bank accounts, lump sum workers' compensation settlements, and other real or personal property to satisfy outstanding child support obligations. And finally, a person who has a child support obligation that they have not paid, they can be denied, suspended, or revoked, or experience revocation of their passport if they owe more than $2,500 in child support. So there are a host of remedies that a person can employ, both to recoup money for payment of child support, and also penalties that can be imposed on a person if they fail to pay their obligations as ordered. Georgia has a criminal statute that can be enforced for failure to pay child support. That statute is Georgia Code Section 19-10-1. And subsection B of that statute indicates that if a parent voluntarily abandons his or her child, he or she shall be guilty of a misdemeanor offense. If a parent voluntarily or willfully abandons his or her child and leaves the state, or after leaving the state, they are guilty of a felony punishable by imprisonment for not less than 1 year nor more than 3 years. And while this section does not define what willful involuntary abandonment is, cases that have interpreted the meaning of the statute has found that when a person fails to pay child support, that is considered a willful involuntary abandonment of their child, and and they have been imposed with a misdemeanor. So this statute is out there now. This statute is out there, and if you are a person who has a child support order and you're not making those payments and you live in Georgia, be aware that these are potential remedies that could be sought against you. So it's also worth noting that in Georgia, if you have a child support order against you and you're unable to make the payments, it is better for you to pay what you can and then go to the court and attempt to get that order lowered because of a change in your financial circumstances and an inability to pay the amount as ordered. In conclusion, Tyrese has had an order of contempt issued against him, and there is an order calling for his arrest for failure to make his child support payments. Now, based upon Tyrese's post on Instagram, as well as his ongoing appeal in relation to this case, it's likely that the reason why he hasn't paid this entire amount is because he believes that the law is on his side, and that the court imposing that he paid $10,690 was contrary to the state of the law as applied to his particular circumstance. So we hope that Tyrese and his lawyers and his ex-wife's lawyers are able to come to some agreement.
The court, you know how many people got issues with their baby mama, baby daddy, and never went to court? And they're just being amicable and respectful. You cheated, you lied, you hurt me, you this, you that, you moved on, you got remarried again, you this, you that. But I'm not about to take you to court. I'm not doing that to the father of my child. I'm not this and I'm not that. But the moment that you put a little celebrity sizzle on that thing, the moment that net worth is a little different, all kind of intentions come out. Now, let me make sure I say this,
because it's like, take care of them kids. Motherfucker, I've never not taken care of my kids. Let me say it again. I've never not taken care of my kids. As a matter of fact, as much as I travel, as much as I got going on, as much as I'm moving, I'm going to tell y'all the biggest blessing ever. Thank you, Jesus. My 17-year-old Shayla has never called me Tyrese. My 5-year-old has never called me Tyrese. You know who I am in this house? Dad. And when they refer to me, when they not with me, they say, that's my father. I am dad. And you know why I'm dad? Not because of what I bought them, not because of the clothes, not because of the square footage of the house, not because of the cars in the driveway, and definitely not because of this fake jewelry I wear. I'm a father. Because that exchange between your son or your daughter is nothing that could be purchased. It's something that they feel about you as a father because you have a presence in their life. All this shit about money, arguing back and forth, that's for me and my ex to deal with. But when it comes to my kids, my babies, they've never wanted for anything. But I can't stop their mothers from coming after me for more. My mama, rest in peace. My mama didn't raise no fool. And my mama didn't raise anybody that would just lay down and take whatever somebody wants to dump on me. Now, it's funny how I get along with everybody. You don't see me doing no interview. Even when it came to little random ass shit I was dealing with in the past with Tank and Genuine. Man, come on, man. That's like laughable. We do have some concerts coming up, by the way. With BBD, Silk, and Tevin Campbell. So y'all make sure y'all get y'all tickets to support real R&B. That's if they don't lock me up in the morning. I know I'm different. I know I'm doing what most people don't do. I can't even say I'm in fear right now. If he's going to arrest me, I'm just going to say, fuck it, man, get it over with. But the details are very simple. I had one of the most detailed and specific prenuptial agreements in place. And I can talk about this publicly because it's already been addressed publicly. Literally one of the first paragraphs in my prenup. And these are some legal words. It's called contested versus non-contested. And let me break this down for the folks that don't know. When you have a non-contested argument, that means everything about these documents is non-contested. We're not arguing about anything. There's nothing to discuss. There's nothing to go back and forth about. There's nothing to unpack. Everything that's been mapped out in this prenuptial agreement has been spelled out and laid out. She had an attorney to represent her for the prenup, and I had one as well. That's a non-contested prenuptial agreement. They have contested. They have said that there are certain things in the prenup that they don't feel the same way about and they want to change it. But and so now they're saying it's a non-contested prenup, and yet there's at least 15 different examples of them contesting the validity of the prenup. And one of the first terms of the prenup says that if you want to argue about anything that has to do with the four corners of these documents that she signed and I signed, you're 100% responsible for your own legal fees. That's what the prenup says. You know, they trying to get me for over $1 million right now for legal fees. You know, she's hired 3 law firms. If you want to argue about the prenup, pay for your own lawyers. And when you lose, you got to pay for all of my lawyers. I got one lawyer that's been representing me from the whole time. Incredible, by the way. Tanya Mitchell Graham. In-fucking-credible. If you want to argue about the prenup, that's fine. You're legally able to do so. But when you do so, that paragraph right there says you are responsible for 100% of your own legal fees, which means she's now got 3 law firms. 3 law firms, but she's really got 4. Because all of the legal fees that I've been paying Tanya Mitchell Graham for the last 4 years is all going to Samantha. That's the prenup that we both signed. But I've been in my good bag, man. I've been laughing. I've been having fun. I've been running around doing all these interviews, man. I just want to tell everybody out there, man, who's gave me their stage and their platform and their podcast, their radio station. I just want to tell y'all, man, y'all could have had anybody on y'all show. Y'all could have invited anybody on there to be on y'all show. Y'all have helped me to promote 1992. It's got an A- cinema score. Man, people are still in the theaters watching 1992 right now. And Beautiful Pain, my album, completely on fire. I heard it is like number 40 or something on the worldwide Apple Music charts, which is crazy. I've never had that. And then my song Wildflower, dedicated to my mother, is still flying. And I'm just trying to be positive, man. I'm trying to activate some good energy. I've already finished the fucking album and pushed the hardest album I've ever done out. And I just keep getting bombarded by these legals, man. Just last week in LA, some random white lady jumped out the bushes on me and tried to serve me. And I fucking backed up. And then she threw the papers at me and they landed in the street. And I said, ma'am, you never served me. She said, you have been served. She's filming me. And I pull out my camera and I'm filming her. And I said, ma'am, the paperwork is not in my hand. As a matter of fact, you put it all in the street. You're loitering. This is a really nice neighborhood right here. And you got trash all over the street. Can I get back to my joy, my happiness, and my magic? Can these baby mamas leave me the fuck alone, man? Can they just stop hiring lawyers that's willing to work for them for pro bono because they got a pot of gold waiting on them at the end of the fucking rainbow? Can y'all just move on, go date somebody, go engage, go start a new family? Go just leave me the fuck alone, man. Wow. I mean, fucking thirst buckets, man. And I know these are the mother of my children, but this is true. This is too much. It's been 17 years of this shit, man. I'm about $15 million at this point into having a relationship with my daughters. And I'm not going to cry. I'm just explaining to y'all, man, that this shit is exhausting. And women can relate, the higher income earners, the breadwinners of their marriages and their families that's been drugged into court. Y'all can relate to this. I'm not just saying this because I'm a man. Does it happen to y'all more often? Does it happen to us when we get drugged through the court? No. Just walking into the courtroom as a man, especially a black successful man in Atlanta in front of these.
Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If there are other videos that you want to see me make or topics that you want me to cover, please leave a comment down below. Thanks so much and see you in the next one.